2022, you are going to see institutional money starting to come into the space.
100%. It's already happening. You're spot on.
It's already happening.
Guys, going into 2022, you guys have had tremendous success in 2021 with all the odds stacked against you. And you guys are personally crushing it. Your students are crushing it. I know because I talk to a lot of them. What are you guys thinking about 2022? What are your personal goals? What are the goals for your students? And without getting into names, but how are you kind of setting that benchmark and that bar higher for them based on what you guys are seeing with market trends?
Our goal, or goals, I should say, for 2022 comes down to three different things, okay? So the first one is, although our training is predominantly centered on controlling properties to generate income without having to own, one of the things that we are going to be doing more of in 2022 is we're going to start owning more properties.
So want to start owning more properties, and there's a few ways of that. I mean, inflation's going kind of crazy right now, and we need to park our money somewhere when we're looking at that. And also, like, there's a few things with it because inflation is going really crazy right now. A big thing is rents are going up. So we're seeing from around the world that rents that used to be $1,500 are going up to, $1,800, $2,000. And it's getting kind of tougher to do the control game like rental arbitrage when you're looking into that. So that's a big thing is, what we do with controlling property, it's not as easy to get into it. And the numbers don't make sense.
Yeah, and that's not to say in all markets. We're saying in I would say larger metro urban centers that we're starting to see that become more common. It's not to say you can't do rental arbitrage. You just have to be a lot more, as you like to say, Michael, intentional about which markets we're going after and making sure the numbers and the economics of that deal make sense, right? But the other thing is with owning, again, more capital intensive, not quite as scalable as rental arbitrage or partnerships. But the thing that's still just very appealing and attractive with owning is mortgage rates right now are essentially as low as they've ever been.
Yeah.
You can lock in money very cheap for a very long period of time. And from a business standpoint, with essentially what we do is, buying a property at one price, selling it at a higher price, it allows you to control your costs on a longer term basis because things like rent don't have control over that, right? So that's one of the things we're really focusing on for 2022 is we're not saying that's all we're going to do. We're still going to do rental arbitrage. We're still going to do partnerships, but we are going to be owning more. And that's going to be a bigger theme into the mix of our goals for 2022.
Yeah, Michael, I love that. Katrina, you guys are, getting into that actual home ownership. You guys are starting to promote that to the folks that are in your coaching circle right now. So that would be 2022. Goal number one is to get people more into that ownership role as opposed to the arbitrage and partnership, correct?
Yeah, that's exactly that way. It's like when we're looking at it, it's like, what kind of deals do we want to get into? And it's like, do we want to own? Do we want to do partnerships? Like, let the numbers speak, as we said earlier. So kind of coming into a couple other things for 2022, our second biggest thing is taking more control over our bookings. So what does that mean? Direct bookings. We are focusing on direct bookings, and that is huge because we need to start controlling our booking traffic. Yes, there's Airbnb and VRBO, booking.com. There's all these booking websites, but we don't control the traffic and we don't control the client coming in. So one of our biggest goals for 2022 is owning at least 50% of the traffic coming in and really honing in on that so that we can have, those direct bookings coming in. We're not held, I guess, accountable on those other platforms getting shut down so easy. You got to be very careful, right? So that's a big focus for us because once you have your loyal customers, like you can send deals to them. And that is the true mark of a business when you really can start controlling your traffic source coming in. Yeah.
And that's how you actually build a more valuable business too, is how often you have repeat customers coming back to you, right? So we can just give a freebie for anyone that's on here just as a way to get more direct bookings. One of the things we do is some of the various messaging automations that we send out to guests is we send out a text message that says to people, hey, thanks so much for booking with us. By the way, next time you're coming back to town, if you book direct with us, you're not going to pay the fees to Airbnb or whichever site that you had booked on.
Smart.
Here's the link to our direct booking site. Love to see you back.
Yeah. Thanks. Right. So just that is a huge focus for us going into 2022 is really starting to own our traffic and really looking into having those direct bookings, right? So we're not at the mercy of any of these other booking sites. So that's their second one on there.
And mining your own database. I mean, there's no better business than repeat business. Obviously, that speaks for itself, because if they had a bad experience the first time, they certainly would not be back. So mining your own database, that's super smart, guys. And you guys are implementing that in your coaching, of course.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely. So that leads us to our third, focus for 2022. And it kind of ties into what we've talked about earlier about having unique kind of properties. We are taking this to the next level of what we're doing. So as we mentioned, we are doing renovations, which has been kind of crazy, but we are literally renovating and changing spaces to be unique and different, and to, go into markets that are super competitive and taking it to the next level to be so different than that hosting herd.
Mm-hmm. So one of the other ways we're doing this, so in addition to what Katrina just mentioned, if you look back at the latest update from Airbnb and their winter update, and you actually just go and watch that video from Brian Chesky, it's pretty obvious that Airbnb as a platform is wanting to promote more unique style homes. So if you actually go on Airbnb's website, there's a button on the homepage that literally says, I'm flexible. And if you click that, it's going to show you all the very unique style properties that are around the world. So what are we talking about exactly? So things like tiny homes, things like shipping containers.
You could do sailboats. There's yurts.
Like
the old yurt. Yep.
Yeah, but there's a lot of different categories, so you can have fun with this. So for our business, we're actually working on a deal right now. It's still pretty preliminary, but we have an opportunity where we might be able to start short-term rentaling shipping containers, which would be kind of interesting, right? Because when are you actually going to, most people are probably not going to buy a shipping container home to live in, but to experience it, try it out, and experience it through a short-term rental.
That's pretty unique.
When else are you going to do that, right?
Right. Well, that's a bucket list thing. Check. Right. Live in a shipping container for 2 or 3 days.
But what we're saying with being unique is that when you're doing stuff that's different that other people aren't doing, that's how you can command higher pricing power and how you can keep your margins intact. So again, keeping on the theme that more competition is coming, not just from people like us coming into short-term rentals, by the way. 2022, you are going to see institutional money starting to come into the space.
100%. It's already happening. You're spot on.
It's already happening. So for example, if you look at like BlackRock as an example, one of the largest private equity funds in the world, like assets in the trillions of dollars, they own tens of thousands of single family homes. So what do you think is going to happen when they have the thought, hey, wait a minute, instead of renting these long-term, we could just put these as short-term and we'd make a lot more money? What do you think that's going to do to most margins for hosts that are just getting into the space?
Yeah, they don't have the budget to get into this. So that's why you really want to take a look at it when you're starting your portfolio, have an intention around it, really, get away from that hosting herd, be unique, be different, because then it's like, if a shipping container home, it's like, okay, what should I charge? There's none in the area. You set your price.
Yeah, no, I like that. So just kind of, that would be a unique selling proposition. So how do you kind of separate yourself, like you said, from the herd there? And it's going to be with a unique customer experience, right? So whether it's the themed out houses, whether it's the extra amenities that ultimately are just paying for themselves 10x, because you command more money on it. So it's being able to really separate yourself, also being able to get that higher nightly rate, because you've got some things that every 3-2 on the block doesn't have, right? So kind of thinking outside of the box there with that. I love it. Ingenuity. You guys are spot on. And I don't want to kind of steal the thunder. We'll kind of close with that here, but it's my understanding that you guys also have financing behind you for folks that want to get into, buying their own personal properties, whether to use as a long-term buy and hold for the short-term rental capacity. So you guys now have that. And I'm also excited to share that after Matthew actually did it, and he beat up on me for the pink videos, he beat up on you guys for a New Year's resolution, kind of just phenomenal discount, kind of an offer, too good to be true almost for people that have been on the sidelines. Maybe it's been cost prohibitive. Maybe now they're finally looking to kind of change their financial future and their outlook and using short-term rentals as that vehicle to do that. You guys are now offering financing for that. So if you guys would kind of talk about the promotions that you guys are bringing, exclusively to the VIP Financial Education YouTube channel, we'd love to hear it, and I'm sure they would as well.
Yeah, and thank you for kind of, I guess, highlighting that about getting into this with, I guess, other people's money, right? Like OPM is a big thing. Of course, we're doing other OPP, other people's property, but it's a really good, it's a really good connection.
That was a song.
Sounds like a boy band.
I'm confused.
But when we're looking at financing, I mean, even when we got into this, like we used a line of credit, like coming in and starting our own business a long time ago. And, just to get your foot in the door and just to, really start generating that cash flow, like that's huge. And so for us, like, this is a really exciting opportunity that we now have like a third party financing that's able to really help start someone off on the right foot to get into the coaching and also start their short-term rental business. So with that, I mean, really, if one of the biggest things you guys want to really work with us and start getting into it, but financing and funding is a huge thing. Talk to us about it, because we do definitely have options getting into it.
Yeah. So as far as things we're releasing, so for the better part of the last 6 months, because we've been so busy at just growing our own short-term rental business, we basically closed off our one-on-one program. We were not doing one-on-one at all for the better part of 6 months. Okay. So coming into 2022, we're now actually opening up spots.
And just to hit pause, and your group coaching students are crushing it. So that hasn't been to their detriment.
No, 100%. So we transitioned from one-on-one more to kind of a group masterclass, and we ran those groups for the last 6 months. The results of coming out of those groups are absolutely phenomenal. There's going to be some testimonials coming up, on that. But having said that, we still liked, we reflected on it. We still really liked having that one-on-one connection with our students. So,
and this is really important to us of, now coming into 2022 and really just opening ourselves up for a bit here, just to really start helping on the one-on-one coaching side of it. And this is just for people who want to go quicker, and it was just backed by demand, I guess you could say. A lot of people just
backed by popular demand. So.
People wanting just to go quicker, people wanting to do what we're doing, like even purchasing ones, or really just wanting that one-on-one support and that sounding board and just to go quicker. That's why we decided to open up our one-on-one coaching and to have that direct connection. We are still doing the masterclass, because the masterclass is a really good way just to get in to the initial. If you're brand new into this, the masterclass is structured in a way that you have weekly calls on there, with us and our team as we go through it, and it's a lot more structured. And that's really good when you're just kickstarting into this.
Yeah. So we're still offering the masterclass as well, but for people that want one-on-one, the last time we did one-on-one coaching, it was available at $22K. Okay. But before going into 2022, we are discounting this down because we truly want to be able to help people to go quicker with this, that genuinely need the support. So we're discounting it down from 22 down to 18 because of the relationship that we have with VIP Financial. So it's 22 down to 18K. Flash deal, at the end of the year here, leading into 2022. So if you want something that's different than what you currently have and you've been sitting on the sidelines, we got you covered. We have options available for you to get financing if perhaps money was a barrier to get into this. And based on the testimonials and results that other students have generated, we definitely have your best interest in mind.
Yeah. And part of that, so with our one-on-one, because it is only us for the one that we're doing it, we only take on 5 students per month. So when we're looking at that,
limited to 5 for this series.
Limited to 5 for just the one-on-one.
Only 5.
Okay. And because it's our time, and with our time, we are highly focused on whoever wants to come in on there. So we're giving the best support. It's really the highest level support of what you're going to get with that. So we only take on 5 students. And again, it's just the flash sale that we have for the new year coming in, that we have it from 22K down to the 18K. And we have the financing options to get into as well.
No, I love that. So just to be clear for the audience, I mean, guys, we're looking at almost a $4,000 discount. If you know that you want to move forward and you want direct connection, with Michael and Katrina, that one-on-one kind of white glove service, if you will, from a coaching perspective, it pays for itself, guys. You're investing in yourself. You're investing in the business model. there's not a business out there that you can make this amount of money for such a low barrier to entry. And obviously now with the financing options to help people pay for the coaching, there are going to be some credit qualifiers is my understanding with that. And they can effectively just pay that off over time, like an installment, like you would a credit card or, a car payment, if you will. You also have financing to go out and actually get them deals purchased if they want to have their own personally owned portfolio as well. And that's exciting news. Let's talk about the group coaching, because you guys gave a heck of a deal to our channel on that as well.
Yeah. So in addition to one-on-one, so let's just be clear too, with one-on-one, that client also gets access to the group as well. So again, that's why it's our highest level of support, but let's just kind of break down the difference between the two. With the group masterclass, so those programs, we've been running those every month for the last 6 months, and those run for 4 months. Okay, so that is a very structured environment. You get to work with one of our coaches underneath us. He's a former student, extremely successful at this business, and he's going to take you hand by hand and show you exactly step by step how to go get a short-term rental business up and going as quickly as humanly possible. So with that group, you have a weekly accountability call where you can come, ask your questions, get support, work through whatever particular issues are coming up. If you choose to do that, or if you come with one-on-one, you're going to get not only one-on-one access with us, but you're also going to get the group as well.
And part of it as well is you do get access to our online members area. That online members area, pre-recorded videos, it is direct. I like to say it's not a lot of fluff in there, just because it's like, what does it actually take to, put a listing online? It kind of is like behind the curtain, us going through videos of actually putting listings online, the strategies that we use, pretty much everything we use in our business, you have access to, and you have lifetime access to that. So it's going to be in conjunction with the weekly calls, you get the online videos, and then with the one-on-one, you would get access to us as well.
Got it. And the promo that we're running on the group coaching for our New Year's resolution through VIP, normally that is a $14,997. You guys are giving it a nice haircut. And guys, these offers are through until December 31st. So obviously this is time sensitive. $11,997. So effectively, you guys are shaving about $3,000 off the group coaching session as well. Obviously, anyone that would move forward with that, they're making an investment in the business model, investing in themselves, and those returns can happen very quickly. Who's this for, guys? I love to have this on the video. What are you guys seeing out there right now as far as coaching students? The most successful students are doing what? And the least successful students are doing what or not doing what?
Yeah, you brought up some good points there. So one of the key concepts we talk about very early on in training is this idea of speed of implementation. So the idea there is as soon as you hear a concept, you learn something, you go and apply it as quickly as humanly possible. So the most successful students we have, and there's a lot of them, like multiple people over the last year creating six-figure incomes, leaving their jobs, retiring their spouses,
creating cash flow to start other businesses. It's really incredible just to see this. And a big thing for us is big thing is like alignment. So, we're here for you, and you got to be there for us too. So what does that mean? You're showing up for the calls. We can hold you accountable. We're going to help you support in a safe space, but we're definitely going to hold you accountable, because this is like we poured our heart and soul into this. We want to make sure that you are too, and that you're taking it, to the next level, and you're ready to change. So are you coachable? Are you trainable? Are you willing to change as a person, right? And just be held accountable in that. So it's really important that we have that alignment. If you aren't those, it's not going to be the program for you. It's not going to be some kind of get rich quick scheme. Yes, we're showing you the shortcuts, but as we show many of our students, the thing is, it's just like any other programs, like kind of like a health program. We can't do the push-ups for you. You have to be the one doing the work, and we're going to guide you into get the best direct way to get there, but you have to do the work. So we're willing to pull up your sleeves, take directions, and take action.
Yeah, no, I think that's important. Any type of business opportunity, particularly ones that we talk about here on the channel, you can't want it more than they want it for themselves, right? So you can, the old proverbial lead the horse to water, here's your roadmap. You can't force them to drink, whatever the case may be. I mean, we could go down that road forever. You guys lay out a successful blueprint. if they're coachable, they're trainable, they're willing to kind of be that sponge and like you said, Michael, implement, right? So you can have all the knowledge between these 2 years, but if you're not into implementation, that's where it's going to stay, right? And what's up here, unless I'm using it and implementing it, doesn't make me a nickel. So, what you're saying is absolutely spot on, guys. Again, just to reiterate, this is not the get rich quick. This is roll up your sleeves, do the work, and you can get rich, but it obviously requires some effort. So guys, I'm going to go ahead and cut this off here today. I would love to have you guys back on here after the New Year's to kind of get that forecasting for 2022. Always appreciate your time. Guys, they are knocking it out of the park. If you love content from Michael and Katrina, if you like the BNB Bootcamp, go ahead and smash that thumbs up link below. If you're not a subscriber already, we would certainly appreciate your new subscription. Always looking for like-minded people here on the channel. Guys, it does not hurt to at least reach out to them. That's going to be BNB Bootcamp at VIPfinancialeducation.com. See if it's a good fit. Take a look at their funding resources now that they did not have previously. So if you have discounted yourself in the past for monetary reasons, they may be able to solve that problem for you now. That being said, Michael and Katrina, if we don't talk again soon, y'all have a great holiday. Y'all just keep crushing it. We're always so proud to have you guys here on the channel. Love you on a personal level, and you guys are just bringing tremendous content to our folks. So much appreciated. Look forward to talking soon. Until next time, guys, keep tuning into the VIP Financial Education YouTube channel. We talk about things like credit. We talk about real estate, investments. If you're interested in stuff like that and some current events as well, we encourage you to tune back in. And until next time, take care and make it a great day.